Welcome to the Bitcoin Globe Day 1263, where we are counting the days down together. Anyone watching this, we are counting the days down together until the next Bitcoin halving. Now, a someone that emailed me asked me about my opinion of the Bitcoin halving, what happens, and what can we expect to happen. And to answer that is, I have no idea. Nobody knows this next halving. Nobody really knows. We have predictions, but there is so much that could happen in the next week with Bitcoin that predicting how many more days do we have? We have 1,263 more days before the next Bitcoin halving. It's almost impossible to know what's going to be happening in the Bitcoin space, yet alone the world. But with that said, let me sum it up. Wow, nothing's really coming to me. What can we expect? What I can only talk about what happened with this last Bitcoin halving was basically nothing except that the price has been steadily going up since then for the most part. I think the price was around $600 around next Bitcoin halving, and now it's at 840. I think everybody knows that China's not going to be margin trading anymore, at least on those exchanges, but maybe they'll start using other exchanges outside of China. I'm not sure how that will work exactly, but the price seems to be going up in response to that news, I guess. Andreas has a interview with Trace Meyer. I like both of them. They're both like fantastic guys, but the interview for me was a bit they're both too strong of a voice for it to be a great interview. I feel like they're clashing a lot. They in my opinion, I mean I respect both of them absolutely. They're both leaders and uh, thought leaders and all that. I have nothing negative to say about them. I just didn't enjoy that interview so much as like I enjoy them individually, but not together. They just didn't clash very well, in my opinion. But I'll link to that below. You're welcome to check it out. It seems like most of the videos today are talking about the margin trading in China. Check out the Cryptoverse. He talks about it and he explains what margin trading is. But to sum it up briefly, basically you're borrowing money to buy more Bitcoin and then you sell it back and pay a percentage fee. But if you want to get more of a smarter guy talking about it, listen to the Cryptoverse. I'll link that below. Going through Reddit, I'm seeing lots of interesting stuff, but today was kind of just for me, it was just a bit of a boring Bitcoin day for me. Even though it's just a solid, I'm not gonna say boring. It was a solid Bitcoin day. Today is the type of day that we want to see. If we want to see steady small gains, we want to see positive news. I saw that Germany had like a bid on it, calling Bitcoin digital gold. Europe is a pretty big market that's not really talked about much, and I feel like they may be flying under the radar. I was looking at Bitcoin trends and Ethereum trends on Google Trends, and Ethereum was really high in like Europe, and Bitcoin was high in like Nigeria and Asia and whatnot. So Europe, I mean, the Bitcoin is a global stock in some sense of the world. Anyone from anywhere in the world can participate in the Bitcoin ecosystem. It's not that difficult. Maybe it is at first to get into it, to wrap your head around it. I know when I first learned about Bitcoin, I rushed out to a Bitcoin ATM in Malaysia, and I wasn't able to. The ATM had actually been taken out, so I went all the way up there for no reason, and yeah, so it was a waste of time. But I ended up just learning about local Bitcoins and was able to buy on there. And Malaysia, the banking infrastructure is really good. Here, I just sold some Bitcoin. I had to sell. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I did some bad budgeting, but I had to sell some Bitcoin through Coinbase. So I'll be taxed for it, whatever. Maybe it was a loss. I don't know. But yes, so that money, it said it was going to be in my account today. Of course, it's not. And I feel like the reason it's not is not because of Coinbase, although it could be, but I feel like it's my US bank because they're extremely slow. And I think they have some kind of algorithm because I know I have my insurance payment coming up, which is the reason I sold the Bitcoin. So I feel like they're going to, pending on the Bitcoin coming into my account, and then get that overdraft fee. Banks make $32.5 billion in overdraft fees every year. I've probably given up $1,000 or so in overdraft fees. I've never been like financially educated until I learned about Bitcoin. Now I'm becoming more financially educated and learning how to protect my assets and whatnot. But I'm still learning, still a noob. I'll admit that I'm a noob. And yeah, so I've accumulated all these overdraft fees over time because I'm not budgeting correctly and whatnot. And banks, and to my credit, like sometimes I feel like today I had planned it out, the money said it was going to be here today, but it's not. It's not in my account, and so I could see that overdraft fee snapping up. They're like, yeah, it's pending on this side. Now let's snap up the overdraft fee. Yeah, so that's what banks like to do. I mean, that's a huge part of their profit model is collecting overdraft fees from us. The 99.9%. I don't know if I have any more news that's popping out of my mind for you. It's just a solid day in the Bitcoin world, and I'm happy to make a video for you. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. Send me some positive vibes so I can send you some positive vibes back. We'll keep the cycle going. We'll keep the positive vibes going. That's it for day 1263. Tune in tomorrow for the next day of Bitcoin Globe, where we are one day closer to the next Bitcoin